Anyway, yeah. Okay, which I forgot to tell you this today is like there is a way of the concept like soul, sem, and yi. Mm, this soul in Pardo and Bön Dzogchen teaching is very different from the soul which you believe in Christianity or other religion. Okay, so in Christianity, when someone dies, and then there is a soul, but the dictionary use a that soul word. Tibetan dictionary use that soul word with the Tibetan term called la, palabdallah. La is a concept that is something like a charm while you live. When you die, that la concept transform. It has a different meaning. It is. It has to be. It shouldn't use la. So, however, uh, to signify that la, uh, there's a soul ritual practice uh, where you use this syllable. But when you passed away, when you die, and they reverse the syllable, okay? And you have to know when to reverse and when to make. And you shouldn't use the unreversed syllable in the for the diseased people, and you shouldn't use a reverse syllable with the living person. So this is has something to. Now, when I say la, it has something to do with a mm, uh, karmic traces that is in the Kuishi base, that is la, and la, and then through this the activation, this active the karmic traces activation happens, and it connects the sem is the cognition, not the main same mind, but same. And in this same there is a thought which is called yi, sem, la. There are three. Because of this, when you have a datar, how you call this datar in English? With arrow and this five colors silk. This you use in the soul ritual, ritual, and you use in the marriage, and like this in Tibetan it's called datar, but I don't know what is English translation. And this datar has a the arrow is made from bamboo, and that bamboo has a three joints. It should have three joints, and it should have three joints. This each joints signifies this la yi sem. Okay, and then when people die, and this la change into a different concept, and sometimes in the astrology they're called she means like kind of energy from a dead person. Hmm? And in a death astrology or calculation, they often says his or her, the deceased, she is directing towards those people whose age sign is a dog, um, tiger, whatever. So these people shouldn't attend the funeral of his or her. So these calculations are shown. So
So Rinpoche Dadar, we call it, used to call it as Dadar with the Tibetan term, but it is like arrow.
yeah, da is arrow, and tar is that silk
Yeah,
uh, or scarf.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, dadar, yeah, dadar. So you see, uh, uh, the the arrow, which has the three joints, it somehow symbolizes your power of your mind. And then there's the five colors. It has something to do with the five wisdom, five lights, and then more important, five elements. So that's what we are, the power of us. Okay, so balancing them. So it attract the prosperous life force. Uh, 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 so that is why dadar is used on ritual like saving your life, prolonging your life, and gathering the prosperous. So that is why.
Okay, Monsan,
Yes, Monson
we
12.
can.
Yeah, namaste, Rambati.
Oh, namaste.
Um,
See you
my,
again.
my question is again about if you're an organ donor. And you said if you were an organ donor and it was your wish, then that would be good.
Yeah,
But that is kind of the first death. So
yeah.
what do you need people to help you with for the second and the third death, or does that act in a different way when your organs is gone?
Yes, yes, yes.
How do you go about that?
It's still yeah, that is like a organ donor who decided by themselves is more like those masters who decided their corpse should be feeded to the birds or like this. So you have decision and you are aware, even in a scientifically way it is taken a little bit earlier. You struggle it but you know it, you
Mm.
have this kind of dedication. So that's okay, but you are not aware or you didn't decide this and somebody is taking out and donating. So it's a 50-50. Some
Mm.
like it's going to someone to it's a benefit, but at the same time somebody is not happy, somebody is suffering, and somebody is disappointed. So it's a 50-50. But beside this 50-50, the benefit is more there.
Yeah, yeah, but if I decide that I want to give my organs if I die, and then I die, and then my organs are good, so I take my organs and give to people that need them, and that's kind of my physical death.
Yes.
But how about my subtle death and my secret death? When I'm lying there and my organs are gone, how do I go about that? Or do they happen
Yeah,
while the organs are being taken?
it depends. Yeah, it depends on what organs. Okay, if it is a heart, I don't know. Still, heart transplantation is successful. Still,
Yeah,
it can it
Yeah,
can
it
yeah,
is possible.
it's
it's possible.
possible. Yeah,
So in that case, it is a question. But otherwise, other organs still okay, because uh, for the inner death and secret death, it doesn't much matter. Doesn't much matter. The heart matters. Heart matters. Mm.
so do you have to still be as a corpse, not being burned or anything, for 2 more days to go
Ah, yeah,
past
yeah,
the
yeah,
two?
yeah, 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 yes, yes, yes.
So you have to be laid in a cask
Yeah,
somewhere,
it's
and
better, 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 better.
oh, okay. So you
Yeah,
still have to have the three
but
days. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, yeah, and you know, uh, when we know, we are aware of all this tradition, we give opportunity to many uh, dying people uh, to preserve their body for 3 days, and the most important is that they may come back. If not, they won't suffering the burning or burial while they can feel this. That is another case. But majority of the funeral is performed just after the outer death in this world.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I have seen a worse case. I have seen a worse case. I I, I won't say where and where, but I have seen a worse case. a grandmother of the family is almost on the process of dying, and they don't want to keep her into the home, and they let her to die outside. And since she is not dying fast, they are putting their her feet in the cold water. I have witnessed this. So this is a killing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so such things are happening, but they don't know if this became a tradition, and then their grandchild will do same to them.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't know this.
No.
Yeah. So this is very important. Mm. So just Google on the Google there in Africa what happened this as I mentioned, this pregnant woman who died and buried, and then in the burial she gave birth,
Mm.
and the child died.
Mm. It's
And
just like
this,
this world here. If you give an organ, it's on a hospital, and then
mm,
your body must be transferred to be in a place for 2 more days, so
uh,
that you can go through the bottle without getting stuck there.
yeah, yeah,
So it's just it
that's better.
doesn't complicating the
Yeah, it's
barter
complicated.
transfer.
Yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, it's hard. It's
So
hard.
it is more difficult when you give organs than if you don't.
I think when you are decided, and then it's okay because you know what will happen. But
Yeah,
at the same time, you have to give up that you can come back from death. There's
yeah,
no doubt for you.
yeah.
So yeah, actually, these are the big decision, big sacrifice, and very very. Actually, I'm pro like this. I'm very much like this organ donors, and it's not easy way, because these days little bit easier, but old time their funeral in many
Mm,
tradition they require fully body. If something is missing, and then they see like as a auspicious or like this.
mm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, mm, if
Right.
yeah,
What?
if I'm in the Dolbo, I would say, yeah, chopped my body and offer to the vulture.
Yeah.
And
That's better up that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
and who knows if I'm still in the Dolpo, and I might be one of the that performer who performs this offering. That's
Yeah.
my that's my family lineage.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we keep 3 days.
Okay, for
Like,
3 days still. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Just a
Uh,
side question. You said there was a mantra for purification. Where can you find that? A mantra for purification?
Oh yeah, that three heart mantras, one of them.
And let them. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Martin.
Yeah. Yes, and the next. Yes, you have to unmute.
Obrigada, Rinpoche. Você explicou de uma forma muito clara os bardos, mas eu ainda fiquei com uma dúvida no bardo do Sambokagaya. Qual é o momento que a gente atinge a iluminação? Como que isso acontece? É quando a gente reconhece que as luzes são manifestações da nossa própria mente? Eu queria que ele falasse um pouquinho mais sobre isso, se ele puder. Obrigada.
Mhm. Yeah, there is a possible of enlightenment, but it is a very rare. But the most important is that when all this concept of pure land, born in a how to say, you have this concept of being born in the Shambhala. What else is there? Olmo Lungring, the land of Amitabha. What else you use this? And such concept can such things happen can happen like this. because uh, in this moment the clarity happens. And when the clarity happens, and it also helps you to, as I said before, that uh, you realize that mind. And when you realize that you are just a mind, and then you started to see that uh, the visionary body which you had, or imaginary body which you had, was your illusion. And in that case, and that thought illusionary body become more like celestial body. So it's more like transforming into a light, uh, pure, that form. And in other way, this will lead you to a further journey to get a new and better life. So that is the one. Mhm. And in a deeper text, they also talk about level of the bhumis which can achieve, so which I didn't mention any in this teaching because it complicates you. So there are way in that Pardo, there's a possibility of that you can reach a certain level of bhumi, and this Pardo, there's a possibility that you can achieve a certain level of bhumi, and then there's a condition, how, and all these things are mentioned. Okay. Mhm. Thank you. Welcome.
Obrigada, thank you.
Okay, I have there is another question from Giselle, and then I have other three questions from the chat.
Okay.
We have 5 minutes left, but
Oh
we
yeah.
can go longer if you need time.
Yeah. Okay. So
So,
Gisela, welcome back.
Sim. É, minha pergunta é sobre algumas pessoas que conseguem sair do corpo. Algumas conseguem voluntariamente, outras involuntariamente, enquanto estão dormindo.
Mm.
Se quando essas pessoas
Yeah.
saem do corpo, elas estão em contato, muitas veem outros seres. Se esse sair do corpo já é um contato com o parto. Oi, sim, tá bom. Vou voltar ali. Se essas pessoas, quando saem do corpo e quando têm contato com outros seres, isso já é um contato com o bardo. E se todos os seres que não têm corpo
Yeah.
estão no bardo?
Yes.
Ok.
Those beings uh, who doesn't have a body in the pardo, they are just called pardo beings, or worst case they become a spirit, and the most worst case they became a ghost. Is it clear?
Sim, mas quando a pessoa sai do corpo e vê esses seres, então ela está no bardo. Ela teve contato com o bardo? E é perigoso ela ficar lá perdida,
Oh,
não voltar mais?
it can be danger. It is kind of obstacle. It can happen with a different situation. Some are born with them. Some was that? Some are born with that, and some face this obstacle between. It has different cases.
sorry, Rinpoche, can you repeat the last sentence because the audio was like broken?
Okay. Uh, uh, some of them are born with that kind of condition. So often they go out of their body, and some of them, in some tradition, they are they are believed as a living god, ghost. Sorry, living ghost. Okay, living ghost. And then in some situation, it's a kind of happens by the situation and environment. In that case, it's mostly like very bad obstacles. Okay.
Okay. I have how many questions we can more? I have from the chat three.
Or three.
Okay. So one is what happened when some people commit suicide? Do they have the Bardo journey as everybody else, or do they get stuck in Bardo, or they reborn in lower realms?
Mm,
So what happened to suicide people?
yeah. Now, the suicidal, when someone does a suicide, it is little bit different than other tragic death. At the same time, the suicide, killing, taking oneself life is the worst case, we say actually, but it depends on the condition. But uh, for them, one thing is for sure: they know they are dying, and majority of them, when they are dying, they don't have condition of if they are living or they died. They are sure for that they died because they killed themselves. Okay, that is the one thing. Uh, but according to the Buddhist teaching, when somebody does this, like by taking their own life, can get a better, uh, how to say, life after that, is a kind of wrong concept, because uh, whole concept of the Buddhism is depend based on the karmic system. So uh, it doesn't end here, but there are so many people who cannot bear a current suffering and then they end life. If it is just a physical problem, then slightly it helps, but their journey in Pardo will be a little bit more struggle. Mm. And then it is possible that most of them, they don't want to be born again. Majority of them, they won't wish or want to be reborn. So this can happen. Mm. So next.
Yeah. So from Russian audience, there is a question. What will I do if I become Buddha in Bardo? How to help beings?
Oh, if you are in Pardo. Ah, if you are in Pardo and you are aware of yourself, and then you remember all teachings, and then you confront other beings there, and you can teach them, you can lead them. Those are very important, very helpful. And the best way is first try to, how to say, uh, release yourself, to either to achieve realization or to get a new better life. Those are also
Uh,
important.
Sorry, Rinpoche, the question was if I become Buddha in Bardo.
Ah, 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 ah.
So,
Huh. So what can you do?
yeah.
Same like other Buddhas. So there's no differences.
So, last one. So that actually there were two questions that seems to be connected.
Okay,
So I just read both same time.
okay.
So how can we can help during a war, and if someone dies in strong pain and anger from war, torture, or illness, how to avoid getting into
Mm,
hell realm?
yeah. Now, the first thing is that when someone dies with a pain of anger and suffering for anger, uh, actually we cannot do much to save them from hell directly, because he or she will suffer the hell realm because of her or his action or the consequences. Okay, uh, but there is a way, in one way, like praise, if possible, to guide. If someone's dying in front of you, at least tell them, even if he or she doesn't listen or accept at the moment, maybe later it helps them, or they realize how important that is. So these can be done. Otherwise, there's not much direct way to uh, to protect them or release them, or we don't have much that power. Okay.
Okay, wonderful. So, yeah, I have just a brief announcement for, so just put the, okay. So I just have a brief announcement regarding the teachings schedule with Chokrashan Rinpoche that will follow in the next month.
Mhm.
So we will have Chod teaching from Maju in Budapest from 6 to 8 May, and then the week later in Bologna in Italy we will have 12 little tantras from Shanshu Nyenju in Bologna. I just put in the chat the schedule.
Mhm.
So that's all.
Okay. So, cheer in Budapest, and also how to say uh, uh, 12 little tantras in Bologna. Okay. So save your date. How you say this? So cheer practice is a part of Mother Tantra, and this 12 little tantras from Shangxun Yanyu Dzogchen teaching. Okay. So thank you everyone, and especially who organized this, Stanla and Olivia La, and all those who are behind the how's the techniques, or how you look at this, and Alex here, and all those who translated in different languages, all translators. Yeah, and sometimes I forgot to thank you all, but everyone who contributed here, and not only the who are involved in this, also all of you, um, the attendees who make this how you call it, collective gathering more powerful. Okay, so I hope these 2 days teachings made a uh, some contribution towards your understanding of the practice, meditation, and especially understanding of the pardo. Uh, so, um, as I tried my best to make it very simple, so as usual, which I do. mm, so, and as I said that this practice is very important because it is connected with so many practices and meditation you are doing, or you receive the teachings and they are connected. So it is very important. So, and at the same time, uh, you're receiving a teaching that can give you the most important opportunity in your whole kind of a career of many lives. Okay, not this life, many lives. So because the pardo of the Dharmakaya, or uh, pardo of the base Nebashi pardo, is the most important opportunity. Even even as I repeated, as I said before, I want to repeat again here. Even a practitioner who is not serious about while he or she is living, but know and aware or receive the teaching while he or she was living, and if she or he could remember or became aware of that moment, there is a opportunity to achieve the realization. So that is that important. So we are all fortunate to have this teaching, and at the same time, when you understand more deeper about the mm, Pardo teaching, and then it actually give you more hopes. It reduce the fear of dying. It makes you ability to help others while they are dying, and it is very, very strong practice. Okay, so it is not that you don't know nothing about what will happen after death, and then you get confused when you are dying. When you know this, right now you don't know what will happen, but when you die, you won't die in a confusion, for sure. You will die in some sort of preparation. Even you are not sure what first things will happen, while the desolation happens, first step of the desolation happen, then you will say, yes, this is happening. I know after that this. Okay, this is important. So I will stop here. So, and we will do dedication. Thank you, everyone. Gozomda Penge Wanganyemba Kamzonze Jenam Ye Tendungu Tozomza Kuzumzo Pesa